My name is Zazie Stevens. I'm an artist and writer from Amsterdam, and I run an art publication called daisyworld, which is an independent art publication concerned with questioning anthropocentrism and through the lens of art. I really believe that artists have the responsibility to bring beauty to the world. If you look at commercial magazines, they're treating the reader as a consumer, and with daisyworld I really want to treat the reader as a lover. To bring some joy to ecological thinking. I grew up in a family of artists, multiple generations, but also also biologists, also linguists, also architects. So I think this might also be why I'm so interested in these different types of conversations between different professions or beings, because it's so hyper fruitful always when different worlds meet. I'm trying to get all these practices together in order to have some cross-pollination of ideas and to nurture new planetary visions, or to just be able to imagine things that are outside of the realm of people. It's about not taking yourself seriously and taking the subject seriously, which is probably also why I enjoy making my magazine so much, with all these people that are completely consumed with their subjects instead of with themselves. They're, like people who are doing these very specific, passionate studies on insects. I don't know, artists are like insects. It's like, we have these antennas, and like feminists have these antennas for other things. It's like the creation part of it is so important, and that's also where fun is and where passion is. I started realizing by going into the world how inexplicit but deeply feminist and revolutionary my upbringing actually was. By being confronted with the opposite, basically. And this is a continuous realization, and it's really strange, because as you grow up, it's your neutral, so you're not aware of it's not radicality, but like the profound feministness of it, or the revolutionariness of it. That's totally not English, but when you're growing older and you realize, and you're being confronted in the world with these opposite ways, you're being confronted with how that actually shaped you, and how also deciding to study it. I'm probably just trying to learn and like find words for all these feelings and ideas that I've always had. I'm thinking about what my feminism would look like, as I'm pretty strongly feeling about not identifying as one, or not constantly having to communicate that. It's about acting on something instead of identifying. I think that's it. And again, if I look back at the great examples that I had from my mother, from my grandmother, they were always acting on what they believed in, very radical, but very kind, not radical in a aggressive way, without ever identifying as it. Without making it about them, without making it about their personal choice, without making it about their self-interest. None of that. And I think that is extremely important. Because I think what feminism should be about too is everything you do in the absence of self-interest. The current situation is not focusing on that. It's focusing on individuals and on individual narratives and individual choice, and you have this whole collection of individuals. That ideology is so everywhere around us, it's so in the air that we breathe, that it's rendered invisible. And that is scary, because that makes you feel like you have a choice while you don't. And I'm always afraid to use these words that don't mean anything anymore, because so many of the words that have lost their meaning, or people have become allergic to them, or, you know, so it's like, I don't know, if you would think about the traditional traits of the traditional feminine traits, how they are so loving and caring, and the opposite of what war is, or what destruction is, or what power or control is, in that sense. Well, that is also about not just changing power from one sex to the other, but a world without power. That has to do with love, right? And it has to do with no self-interest, and to create that for the collective.